Yes, good morning and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of Transfers. Make sure that you like the video, comment with your thoughts on some of the breaking news stories that I'm going to give to you, and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. And also, don't forget, you can become a member. You get access to perks like early release dates of amazing exclusive content. You can use your own emojis in super chats, and it bumps you up the queue when you're making comments in the chat as well. So if you do want to be a member, make sure you use this link right here. We're going to get it up for you on the screen right now. And if you use this link, you can become a member. So make sure you do that. There you go. There's the link that you need to press. Right, let's get into it then. Let's get straight into it. And some news that maybe Chelsea fans did not want to wake up to this morning. The Chelsea board have also made inquiries about potentially bringing in, and I'll wait for the the dramatic effect of it, because I just can't believe it. Harry Maguire. Chelsea want Harry Maguire as part of a potential swap deal that could see Christian Pulisic go the other way. Can you Adam and Eve it? Chelsea fan in the comment already, Auba1 says, I don't want the fridge at the bridge. And I don't blame you, mate. But this one, is it just filling up the columns in the newspapers, or is it any truth in it? I mean, do Chelsea actually want Harry Maguire? He's 29 now and not getting any younger. Let's not forget, it was 4 years ago that he joined Manchester United from Leicester for £80 million. It's been an absolute, I was going to swear then, but it's been an absolute horrendous showing, if you're asking me anyway, through his time so far at United. And he's still a captain. He's probably going to get dropped on Monday night as well. But I can't see this one happening. Yes, United, if they don't get Anthony, if they don't get Carrasco, could go in for Pulisic. And I guess one of the assets that they currently have that they're looking to offload in potentially a swap deal is Harry Maguire. Ahmed defends Harry Maguire. He says he's a very good player and a very good centre-back. Jacob says Maguire is not world-class with three at the back. Unspoken T calls him a slabhead. But Harry Kane says, I think it's a very good move. Maguire can show his class. But Zixi, opposite, says, FFS, no Chelsea. Maguire is too good for us. We don't deserve that goat. I think he's using a little bit of sarcasm there. At the bottom, Connor B can't quite believe it. Maguire to Chelsea, big question mark. Harry, and how much money are they giving us? Well, it looks like it would be a straight swap deal in terms of Pulisic going to Manchester United and Harry Maguire going to Chelsea. Chelsea have also been in talks. They've ramped up the talks with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the last few days. They went late into the night and has so far failed to find an agreement. The deal under discussion is thought to be around 15 to 25 million. Chelsea also want to include Marcos Alonso in the package, but Barcelona want straight cash to help enable them register Jules Koundé. Now, don't forget, Marcos Alonso has had personal terms agreed with Chelsea for the last 4 months, but he's been sitting on the sidelines waiting for players to be registered, waiting for that chance to join Barcelona, and it hasn't quite happened for him yet. So if you're Marcos Alonso, for the whole summer, you've known where you're going to end up, but it hasn't worked out. So he's now going to have to get his head down again and focus on staying as a Chelsea player. So interesting if you're Marcos Alonso. It hasn't worked out throughout the whole summer for him. And Barcelona and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's camp met tonight. Apparently last night, going against what I just said, they have agreed personal terms. And again, just reiterating that Barca don't want that swap deal anymore that they agreed to a few months ago when it comes to Marcos Alonso going to the club. They want cash money, baby, so that they can register Jules Koundé. As we know, horror show when it comes to registering players this season for Barcelona, and it doesn't look like Marcos Alonso will get his dream move. I think Tuchel can improve Maguire, says Moise. Maguire in, he can help us score goals. Maguire at Chelsea, that's instant banter, says Wolves FI. If Chelsea do a straight swap, they are crazy. And Hossam says Maguire to Chelsea is cap. Everyone knows everyone with a brain knows this. Well, This is what they're telling us in the rumour mill today, mate. Staying on Chelsea, it looks like Champions League winner or former Champions League winner Emerson on the Chelsea book still is looking like he will go to West Ham. They've made a bid. It's been accepted. And it looks like he is on his way to West Ham. Let's not forget, he's been there for some years now. Hasn't really hit it off in terms of playing week in, week out. But it looks like that deal is going to happen for around £13 million plus a $2 million add-on fee. Permanent deal with Emerson. They are now discussing the personal terms. So West Ham are closing in on that deal for Emerson Palmieri. With Chelsea, he's been put out on loan quite a few times in his Chelsea career so far. But 13 plus 2. So it looks like a package of around 15 million. So West Ham fans in the chat, Nikki, if you're watching, let me know how you feel about this left-sided player. Maybe a backup to Cresswell to come in. So do let us know, Chelsea fans, West Ham fans, how you feel about this one as well. Let's talk about the other breaking story in the topic or the title. It looks like Tottenham midfielder Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg will remain at Tottenham despite interest from Real Madrid. The Tottenham midfielder remains confident that he'll stay at the club this summer. He's been reportedly been lined up as a replacement for the departing Casemiro at the Bernabeu, with the Brazilian closing in on a move to Manchester United. But he is not moving to Real Madrid. And I made this point yesterday as well. I basically said, if you are a midfielder who is being touted by Real Madrid right now, you've got no chance of starting any games, right? Let's be honest. They've got Cruz, they've got Modric, they've got Camavinga, Valverde, and Tchouaméni, who they've just paid over the odds for as well. So 5 midfielders there. If you are a Hojbjerg, you're not going to get into that team, are you? So there's no need to leave. Stay at Tottenham. And he starts most weeks, Hojbjerg. Scored last week as well at the Bridge. So I can't see him leaving at all. But it's obviously very flattering for anyone, whatever club you're at, to always be linked with Real Madrid or Barcelona, I would say, apart from when it's your club and they take your player. Leicester's French defender Wesley Fofana, age 21, has asked not to be involved in the game against Southampton this weekend after being linked with Chelsea. Leicester fans, I have sympathy for you. Throughout this whole window, Leicester just haven't been able to make any signings, and they've only been involved in the transfer gossip columns when they're talking about players leaving Molineux. We've seen Fofana linked away, Tielemans linked away, Harvey Barnes linked away, James Maddison linked away, Jamie Vardy linked away, Kasper Schmeichel's already left. So get your head around that one. How they've not brought in any players is truly unbelievable. And I really do think this will be the last season at the King Power for Brendan Rodgers. I can't see him staying there any longer. I mean, he's not getting the backing. He's not getting the support from the board. And at the minute, it's just a selling club situation. They're not looking to bring anyone in. Vardy has today signed a new contract, which is good news for Leicester. It's a 2-year deal, a 2-year extension. He's obviously come out in the last few days and said that leaving the Molineux. I was talking about Wolves players there before, mate. Now I'm talking about Leicester players. Kasper Schmeichel went to Nice. Kasper Schmeichel has signed for Nice. But great news today for Leicester fans that Jamie Vardy has signed that deal until 2024. In the last few days, he said, and I quote, "How could I leave Leicester? They're the only club that have been so loyal to me in times of toughness." So Jamie Vardy stays at the King Power Stadium. Great news that for Leicester, but they still want to bring more players in. They've still got Patson Daka on the bench as well. He could play a lot more this season. But there you go. Good news for Leicester, finally. Let's get into some more stories for you. Inter president Stefan Zhang has today personally decided to keep Milan Skriniar. We all know about him, that PSG wanted him, but they didn't want to spend more than 50 million plus add-ons. And Inter basically priced them out of the game. They're not involved in that transfer anymore. As Steven Zhang says, no, we're not paying over 50 for Skriniar. He's now looking to sign a new deal, and that is a 5-year deal, by the way, until June 2027. Talks will now talk. What am I on about? Talks will now start between Inter and Skriniar. As we know, Casemiro has signed Well, do you know what? He's not actually signed yet. But him and his agents are now flying to Manchester. The medical is booked, and he could be in the stands at Old Trafford for the United-Liverpool game. He won't be playing in that. So any United fans that think he might be involved in that game, he will not be involved in that game. Maybe as a spectator, but definitely not as a player starting or on the bench. No way. So Casemiro going to Manchester United. How do you think this works out for him and Manchester United? I don't think it has a massive effect on Real Madrid. Obviously, my friend Raul, my Real Madrid fan, is gutted that he's leaving. But as I mentioned, you've got 5 other midfielders there that can do more than what Casemiro did for Real Madrid. And he's been a great servant to them. But now he comes to Manchester United, and Hassam in the comments saying it's a suicide move. He also says from playing with Modric and Kroos to playing with McTominay and Fred. Unbelievable. So he's just got to do his medical, and he will be in the stands on Monday night. Manchester United also keeping a keen eye on Antony as a priority. He does want the move, and they're keeping contacts for Gakpo as a cheaper option. So Man United, Gakpo, Antony, Carrasco, so many players that they're linked with. I mean, it's like throwing shit at a wall. Something's got to stick. You know, something has to eventually come through for United. You don't cast the net out and try and get 8 or 7 players and come back with nothing. You cast the net out and you come back with as many as you can. Now, Manchester United desperately need signings. They brought in Casemiro, part of that Real Madrid old guard, if you like, with Varane and Ronaldo. But it's not looking great for United at the minute. Hossam saying United are a circus. Obviously, big game on Monday night for Manchester United at Old Trafford at home to Liverpool. If you want to see an in-depth match preview for this game, please head over to the COP TV to make sure that you can catch that before Monday night. We've just hit 25,000 subscribers as well. So a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed to the COP TV. Big up to you. Speaking of Liverpool, let's stay in the city of Liverpool. Everton want to extend Jordan Pickford's contract, as Frank Lampard confirms today. The club are speaking with Jordan. He's a massive player for us. Everyone wants him to stay, and Jordan is very happy here. Also, Everton are waiting for Dele Alli to accept or decline a proposal from Turkish club Besiktas. The club are open to accept both loan or a permanent move for Dele, but there is no green light yet on the player's side. So this is one of those deals where Everton are happy to offload. Besiktas are happy to put the money down. They've been notorious for not paying players on time in the past, by the way. But it looks like Dele Alli is stalling on that decision. I mean, if you're Dele Alli, what on earth has happened to your career? I actually do have a lot of sympathy for him. I mean, talent works harder than, hard work works harder than talent. Of course, he's very talented, but is he a hard worker? I can't put him down as one. I mean, he burst onto the scene. He really did in 15, 16, 17. His numbers were on course to eclipse the likes of Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. But how he's kind of been cast away out of the Spurs team, gets sent to Everton, barely has started games for them. I think he started 1 game for Everton under Frank Lampard so far. So naturally, if you're Everton, you're going to look to cash in on Dele Alli. And if Besiktas are the only club that are coming in to pay the money, then you've got a lot of thinking to do, Dele. Now, if you stay, you're going to be a bit part player unless you hit a true purple patch, a really good run of form. I just can't see Dele Alli breaking into that Everton team, and he wants game time. He's got an extremely little chance of playing in the World Cup. Let's not forget, in the last World Cup, he was one of the main men for England, playing behind Harry Kane with that Tottenham link-up. But if you are Dele Alli, let me know in the comments. If you were Dele Alli, would you want to go to Besiktas? Listen, if you go there, you could be the main man. They would love you out there. It's a good opportunity to restart your career in Europe, I guess. But I just can't see him personally choosing to go out to Besiktas. And if he stays at Everton, obviously it's going to be for the money, as he is not playing regular games. But it's an unbelievable story. It really is. And it's sad in a way. It's sad. Because as I mentioned, he burst onto the scene in such an amazing way in 2015. But it looks like he's not going to get any more game time at Everton. MM in the comments saying Dele Alli should have gone to Newcastle. That could have been a really good move for him. I think his wages might have priced him out of that, considering all the money that Newcastle have. They're not just chucking it around at anyone, as you've seen during this window. They don't just chuck money at players with big names and big wages. They buy their man and they keep hold of their man as well. You look at Bruno Guimaraes, brought in January. Obviously, Real Madrid selling Casemiro were interested in him. But no, again, too many midfielders at Real Madrid. Plus, he's loved at Newcastle. So Bruno Guimaraes does not want to leave. But Dele Alli, on him, Fernandes Magnifico says you can't help a lazy player. Very interesting as well. Kid Leroy saying Tuchel will turn Maguire into Van Dijk. Not too sure about that. Wolves FI, Dele Alli doesn't seem EPL level player anymore, so I'm doubtful why any Premier League club would want him. Who thought we'd be saying that about Dele Alli back in 2015? Definitely not me, by the way. It looks like as well Ajax are going to complete that deal for Mohamed Kudus. He's been linked with Everton, but he looks like he is going to go to Everton from Ajax, Mohamed Kudus, and he could make way for, I mean, Anthony looking like he's going to United as well. I mean, they can't just keep selling players to Everton and Manchester United. They really can't, man. Let's go into some more news here. Marseille closing in on Eric Bailly with a loan deal. It's an understanding that it's a loan with an option to buy. Again, a player that's been at the club now since 2016, I would say, maybe 2015, at Manchester United. Do you know what? In my opinion, and I was saying this to Owen yesterday on United View when we did the preview, in my opinion, and I'll be careful with this, I think Bailly is United's best defender. That might seem mad, but I do think that Eric Bailly, in terms of his physicality, his height, his mentality, he's been injured a lot, and he's definitely trying to play football. But I actually think he's one of the best defenders at Manchester United. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. Also, Diallo is going to PSG, and Tanganga is a priority for AC Milan, apparently. So Diallo, obviously a massive signing at Manchester United. £37 million it cost to bring him in the doors at Old Trafford. Hasn't worked out in the slightest for him, but it looks like he is going to go to PSG. And Japhet Tanganga looks like he might be going to AC Milan. Maybe he speaks to Fikayo Tomori to see if he can link up with him out there and win the league. So if I was Tanganga, you're not going to get a much playing time at Tottenham, so you might as well go to AC Milan, the current Italian champions. There you go. Big deal that if it happens, definitely. Any more bits for you? Let's have a look. Everton are set to sign Kudus, as I said, from Ajax. The deal is at the final stages between the clubs. Personal terms are now agreed. They will be completed soon. And I think that's everything, guys. I do think we've gone through all the news that I have for you today. So let's just recap it for you. Apparently, according to Sky Sports, Chelsea are looking at the availability of Harry Maguire. Never did I think that would happen, if I'm honest with you, in a potential swap deal for Christian Pulisic. Emre Aubameyang to Chelsea looks like it is going to happen for around £20 million. Personal terms yet to be agreed. Pierre-Emerick Hojbjerg is not leaving Tottenham. He's not going to Real Madrid. That is not happening. Fofana wants to be left out of the Leicester squad to play at Southampton at the weekend after being linked to Chelsea. Skriniar is staying at Inter. Casemiro is going to be in the stands for the United-Liverpool game on Monday. They are still working on Anthony. Everton are looking to tie down Jordan Pickford for a long-term contract. Dele Alli could go to Besiktas. Marseille are looking to bring in Bailly. That is going to happen as well. Negotiations with Bailey are still ongoing. Japhet Tanganga could go to AC Milan. Diallo has gone to PSG, that is confirmed, and Tanganga could go to AC Milan. West Ham are looking to bring in Emerson for Chelsea for around £15 million after they've agreed personal terms. And Kudus looks like he's leaving leaving Ajax to go to Everton. And Barca have asked for cash instead of Marcos Alonso to help them register Koundé, their latest defensive signing. I wish we get Tanganga, says Dear Cup. Let me know what team you support. And Tendi Item says, hi, AGT. Do you think the João Pedro to Newcastle is going to be a move that we see before the deadline day? Not many Newcastle fans are overjoyed at this one. I was watching the Magpie channel this week, and he was saying he's not totally excited, Matty, on the signing of João Pedro. Only scored 3 goals in the Premier League last season for Watford. Let's just bring that camera down a little bit. So it looks like it could be slightly overpriced, but obviously if you're Watford in the Championship, you're going to be trying to take all the money that you can get for him. So 20 million for João Pedro. It could be a good deal. It could be a bit of a flop. There's only one way to find out. Put him in that St James's Park Stadium and let him see what he can do, I guess. No new players for Liverpool, says Kid Leroy. No, unfortunately, I wish there was, but there is not going to be. Kudos, crazy baller, says Jack the Lad. João Pedro is the next Richarlison, says Davison. What's happening with Arsenal targets? Are there any more potential transfers again? If you want the best in Arsenal transfer target news, head over to AFTV and watch Don Robbie's Transfer Daily Show. Spurs transfers, nothing that I'm hearing, apart from the fact that Harry Winks, Tanganga, and Dombele and Brian Gill all leaving the club in the next week. We have just over 10 days to go until the transfer window closes. All 4 of those players will leave Tottenham before the end of the window. Hey, GT, have you seen Jamie Vardy signs 2024 contract? Yes. So if you go back, you will have seen us talk about that. He has rewarded Leicester for them being so loyal to him over the years. He's been there for such a long time now, since 2013, maybe 2012, a good 10 years. So congratulations to him for signing that new contract. Finally, some good news for Leicester fans. Varane retirement plan with United, banking more millions in the few months. Barnett transfers, great shout from IDK. Not as if I'm aware of. Not if I'm aware of, mate. But Luke Murphy says, I know it's a transfer show, but score prediction for Monday. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool, mate. And Hossam, our last one, the last time United won something, I was 16. I'm now 21. And we'll end it on that note there. Guys, another great show. Don't forget, in less than 3 hours, we will be on DR Sports. Myself, Matty Renton, who is in transit right now from Newcastle down to London to make it in time for the show. We're all going to be there, and also Matisse as well. Can't wait for it. It's the best show on DR Sports, in my humble opinion. So I'm really looking forward to that. So make sure you join us for that. We've got all the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well. So guys, take care. Much love. We'll see you soon.